I'm Andy Aledort. In this edition of In Deep, I'd like to talk about superimposing a mode on top of a key. So, may the fourth be with you. I know I've used that one before. The idea is to play, think of the 4-chord, but play that over the 1-chord. This is especially useful, this approach, when you play over a 1-chord vamp. And what I'm using today is a rhythm track along the lines of Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers. That's in the key of A minor. And so instead of just thinking of licks based on A minor and A minor pentatonic or the A Dorian mode, I want to think about the fourth of A, which is D. So the first thing to do is, in order for me to know what are the correct notes to use and what scale in the key of D would go over A minor in the correct way, I have to go all the way back to the correct scale to play in the key of A minor for this song. And it happens to be A Dorian. Dorian is the second mode. So what that means is you have to think, what is A the second of? A is the second of G. So that means A Dorian is the same as the G major scale. So here's the A Dorian mode, played basically in 5th position. But that's the same as G major. So if you think in terms of G major, the way you get your 7 fundamental modes from G major is you play a scale from each scale degree of G major. So if we play from G to G, from G to shining G, you get the G major scale. If we play from A to A, the same notes that we use for G major, but we think of it in terms of A, that's A Dorian, and that goes over A minor 7. If you go from B to B, that's B Phrygian, C to C, C Lydian. Now here we go, D, the 5th of G, that's the 4th of A. And the chord that gets built from the D Mixolydian mode, you take 1, the first note, 1st scale degree, 3rd scale degree, 5th scale degree, and the 7th scale degree. 1, 3, 5, 7, you may have heard that before. You get D, F sharp, A, and C. So if we play these notes together, it's a little too difficult to do it here like this. Nobody wants to play that chord. You move them around. So you have the same notes, D, F sharp, A, and C, but move them like this. D, A, C, F sharp. A much more manageable D7 voicing. So the idea is, when you're playing on this A minor vamp, Whipping Post, I'm going to be thinking about D7, licks that emphasize the chord tones of D7, meaning D, F sharp, A, and C. But I can use all the notes of A Dorian. But I'm going to emphasize those specific notes. So basically, the way people describe this is to say, play D licks. Play licks that sound like D7. So I'll play a couple of examples over the track and show you what I mean. All right, so what I did was I went. So So there's my D7, but over A. So in the key of A, it's a root note, a minor third, a flat 7 to a 6. But you can hear the pull to a different tonal center, which is neat. So there's D7 voicing here. Over A, here's another one. Staying on the D, G, B string, here's another. Here's another. So just by thinking in this way, you've broken out of thinking of specifically A licks, A minor licks, A blues scale licks, A Dorian licks, thinking about D licks now, and it changes the contour of your melody. Here's another example. So this time, I'm thinking of my D, D7 in this position. So I get all this, and then I So it's really neat. It's pulling your ear in the other direction of another tonality, but at the same time, it works perfectly over A minor. So try superimposing the fourth, the approach of the fourth, over other songs and other keys, and you'll discover all kinds of new melodies you wouldn't find otherwise.